To help support this podcast
and get exclusive bonus content and rewards,
make a monthly pledge at
patreon.com/universebox. And remember to think outside.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, come on. Come on. There's a few more. There's more than like 3 of you. How are you doing?
There we go. Okay, so we host a podcast called Legends of Gotham where we talk about Gotham every week. So we're going to intro it like a podcast because we're going to put this out on the feed. So just pretend that we haven't talked to you yet. Okay. What happens to losers? Yowza! Death by poison gas. Welcome to Legends of Gotham, where we talk about Fox's hit TV series Gotham, set in the world of Batman. And we're coming to you live from Tampa Bay Comicon. I'm Meeks.
And I'm DeSimone.
And how you doing, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. I got Maroni's hooch. So
This is a little bigger than our home studio.
A little bit, yeah.
Just slightly.
Slightly bigger than the living room.
I'm very intimidated right now, though, because we have Fish and Penguin in the front row. If you guys want to stand up and show everybody. Very nice. But let's see here. Yeah, but as I mentioned before, when I told you...
We didn't talk to you.
Yeah, we didn't talk to you. We actually talked to you. But we host a podcast called Legends of Gotham, legendsofgotham.com. And we've been doing it since about a week after they announced the pilot was picked up. We bought the domain name. We started pushing out episodes and stuff. And it's been a good time. We get to interact with a lot of people from the show. Like we've had John Stevens, the executive producer.
Montoya and Allen on.
Montoya and Allen came on for a big episode. We've had directors.
We've done some stuff with other promo people.
Yeah, and we talk about the show every week, so we're very well versed in it. We watch every episode at least twice.
Okay, usually more.
Take big notes on it. And one other thing about our podcast is we do a lot of voicemails and letters from other Gothamites. And someone who calls in every week, and we're pleased as punch to have him, Bobby Hawke. How you doing, Bobby?
Hey guys, I'm Bobby. I know some of you listen to the podcast, but I'm Bobby.
Well, we're assuming everybody here listens to it. But we have a few things on the agenda for today. In the program, it said that we were going to be talking season 2 and speculating on season 3. We added a third thing that's not in the program. Sorry about that. We're going to do some Gotham trivia from Gotham Addicts. If you guys follow the Gotham Addicts Twitter account, they provided us with a ton of trivia. So Anne-Marie, how's this going to go down?
All right. First of all, we're going to test to see if either of these two can figure it out, because Gotham Addicts give me some really hard trivia, and if they can't get it, you got a chance to steal.
I'm not good at trivia, so you guys are probably going to have to steal a bunch.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I'm not going to go through all of them. Okay, what kind of bomb does Strange arm? A, atom bomb, B, mine, C, nuclear bomb, or D, floating bomb?
So how do you buzz in?
I don't know. Just say an answer for me.
Atom bomb.
Nuclear.
No. Aha! Point for Bobby. Come on, it was multiple choice and you still couldn't get it?
No.
No? Okay.
I just know it needed water.
You just know it needed water? Okay. What is the last question Nigma asks Bruce and Lucius?
How much do you know?
Anyone want to steal? Because I know they're going to get it.
Oh, back
Do
there.
it.
Who controls Wayne Enterprise?
Ding, 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 ding.
Very nice.
I probably wouldn't have gotten that.
I was like, you had that look.
Yeah.
Like, I get this.
I was having a problem even questioning what you even asked me.
I hate that though, because my intro line was from that scene in that episode.
Yes, it was. Okay. What does Harvey say Jim looks like? A sack of trash, B, a sack of rat turds, C, a sack of ball bearings, or D, a sack of fish?
I'm going to say sack of fish.
Point to Bill.
Sweet.
Point to Bill.
I was like, fish?
Fish, yes. We put her in a bag. Speaking of fish, what does Fish say about Miss Peabody's mama?
Oh, God.
No idea.
To the audience? Anyone?
Anybody?
I told you Gotham Addicts is good. Your mama may be number 13.
Yes.
Don't you talk about my mom. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Your mama might be number 13. What is Penguin's trophy?
The head of Mrs. Van Dahl.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Stinky nasty.
I wonder if it'll be there in season 3. Like if it'll still be there and it'll just be a skull. Et tu, Van Dahl?
Et tu, Van Dahl. Lots of flies. All right, let's see. Who is left behind at Indian Hill? A, Miss Peabody, B, Helsinger, C, Nigma, or D, Lucius?
I'm sorry, what was the...
Who is left behind at Indian Hill at the end of the season? Miss Peabody, Helsinger, Nigma, or Lucius?
Peabody?
Anyone in the audience?
Nigma.
Nigma. Point to the audience.
Congratulations, audience.
Okay. Ooh, okay, this one's gonna pick your brain for some stuff. Indian Hill was first mentioned in what episode? A, Arkham, B, The Balloon Man, C, Lovecraft, or D, Harvey Dent?
I'm gonna say C, Lovecraft.
That's what I was going to say.
And you'd both be wrong. Anyone in the audience want to hazard a guess?
Harvey Dent.
No. Arkham!
Arkham.
Everyone got
Going
it
way
wrong.
back. Everybody got it wrong.
It's in Arkham. You think that would be our first guess?
You really think that would be your first guess?
Well, it's hidden, so.
It is hidden. What are the 3 things Ed asks the Arkham inmates to get for him?
Stuff and junk and things.
Audience? Anyone? Go ahead. That's one of them. Do you know the other 2? A hairpin.
So black light and a hairpin.
One more. Ammonia.
I say we give it to him. I mean,
I'm
Yeah,
giving it to him. He did better than
That's
me.
the audience for sure.
All right. All right, let's go for one more and then we can get to our other stuff.
Okay.
Trying to find a good one. What personality does Ed say Rudy is displaying, and what is the name?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Not quite yes. Anyone else?
No.
No? But I like this. I like the way you think.
Maybe.
Maybe?
No?
No. The
Not
5th
sure.
personality, Lucy. Lucy.
Oh, yes.
Crazy
I
Lucy.
forgot about. You know what? Why don't we do one more, because I have this. We got sent because we in anticipation of the first season, they did a Gotham fan trailer, and I got to play Jim Gordon.
I got to play Fish Mooney.
And they sent us a bunch of swag for it, including this Gotham lanyard with this really cool like hologrammy kind of thing of Gotham. So lenticular. Thank you, Bobby.
Okay, technical.
See, this is how Bobby functions in our chat room during the live podcast too. He corrects us. But whoever answers this questions right gets the Gotham lanyard.
Okay, so now, okay. So I got a good one for you. How does Strange initially refer to Azrael? A, the chosen one. B, the redeemed one. C, my monster. Or D, the anointed one.
Oh,
Next, I think the blue shirt.
C.
No, red shirt. Yes.
okay. Here you go. Come get your lanyard.
Redeemed one.
Thank you.
Excellent.
The redeemed one.
So thank you again to Gotham Addicts for supplying us our awesome trivia questions.
Wait a second. He has a flash shirt on. This isn't a
Oh,
CW
wait,
now.
this is not the DCW.
Thank you very much.
You are a sister podcast, though.
This is our sister podcast.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true. Oh, so who won officially?
The audience.
I would assume the audience.
Y'all
Yeah.
got nothing. Good job, audience.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little season 2 here. First off, and I'll ask the panel, who was your favorite character? And we'll start actually with you, Bobby, because you haven't talked much yet.
Why am I stuttering? My favorite would probably be Jerome.
Jerome.
I mean, of all, you know how I always talk about Bullock and everything, but this season alone, I mean, I almost forgot Jerome was in this season because of the way they've structured the seasons.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well, he came out very strong at
Oh
first,
my god,
yeah.
like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and you guys know I almost called off the show
Yes,
after
you
the
did.
first 4 episodes. but I decided to stick around, and here we are.
Mm.
But definitely Jerome, and I can't wait to, hopefully they bring him back. I mean, they definitely alluded to it.
Definitely. Okay, Anna Marie, your favorite character?
Nigma.
Nigma? Yeah.
He totally went through such a change that it was really entertaining to see him go from being like the quiet guy, just doing some stuff on the side, to doing the complete Riddler chase throughout the entire Gotham and taking down Jim for a little while.
Oh, yeah, it was very good stuff, for
And
sure.
then that poor Kristen Kringle. She had no idea who she fell in love with.
Rip Kringle.
Rip Kringle.
Okay, how about you guys in the audience? What were some of your favorite characters from season 2? Anybody? Azrael. Yes.
Excellent.
Actually, you know what? Me and you, simpatico, because that was my answer too. Well, it's basically Galavan. But I just loved how in the first half of the season he felt like this very sort of artificial construct slash chess master. And then in the second season he comes in and he's basically the closest thing we've ever got to Batman on TV outside of Adam West, which kind of doesn't count. I absolutely, what were some of your favorite moments with Azrael? Like what was your favorite scene he was in?
Probably with the rocket launcher in the graveyard.
The rocket
launcher was excellent.
The rocket launcher was maybe the most Gotham-y moment ever Gotham of Gotham.
Pieces of Azrael everywhere.
Okay, anybody else with a favorite character from season 2? Back there in the gray shirt.
That's you.
Yeah.
Harvey Bullock.
Harvey
Who
Bullock.
doesn't love a
Oh
Bullockism?
my God.
Yes.
Favorite Bullockism?
When they asked him how long he was going to be in charge, he said, until literally anybody else wants this job.
Absolutely. Until literally anyone else wants it. Excellent.
Yeah, my favorite Bullockism ever was like a monkey riding a racehorse from season 1. That was a great one for sure. Okay, you in the white shirt here? Alfred. Alfred. Yes, double O Alfred.
Double O.
As we like to call him. Wait, what's your favorite thing Alfred's done on the show?
Well, I like how they describe him more in the show, like how he's more describing his past as a lawyer.
Yeah, like he has more of a fleshed out background and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. And I guess from what I've heard, they took a lot of that from Jeff Johns' Earth 1 graphic novel, because he's much more hardcore in that comic. Like in the first book, he just goes to Batman after he goes on his first big adventure and he kind of crashes and burns. He's like, why aren't you just killing these guys? I mean, they're murderers anyway, right? So Alfred's a completely different kind of character in that graphic novel. Anybody else with a favorite character from season 2? Barbara, stab the gas. Yes, definitely. She went through so many twists and turns, and this still ended back up at crazy, which is just where we want to
I
go.
think she was really always crazy.
Mhm.
It just brought out the good crazy.
What was your favorite Babs moment?
When she was in Arkham,
Yep. She was really good in Arkham.
Definitely.
She was really good in
Like right at the beginning of the season, the hashtag Maniacs section of the season. Yeah. I really liked her costume in that too.
I want her costume as a regular dress.
Your scarf
My
almost
scarf
looks
was
like her
tried.
costume.
It's funny because you hated.
I hated her. I hated her.
So many people did, and then she rallied. She came
rallied.
around. Yeah.
Well, they didn't give her anything to do in season 1. Season 2, she actually had a story
Definitely.
So.
Much more than just like waiting for Jim Gordon.
to come home and serve him dinner.
She started getting interesting during the ogre arc because she kind of
Well, it was
went off and did her own plot line.
and she became Stabby Babs.
Okay, so anyone else with a favorite character before we move on? Going once? Oh, Fish
Well,
Mooney up
yes,
front.
Oswald.
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 Oh, definitely. Like I mean, just from where he was at the beginning of season 1 all the way through season 2, it's like a complete turnaround, a completely different character, same color scheme.
Yes.
What was your favorite season 2 moment for Oswald?
Believe it or not, when he was in Indian Hill,
When he was at Indian?
Yes.
but that's when he just went through all those, when they actually put him in that chair and they put that thing over his eyes and they just,
Mhm.
it was intense. I had to keep reminding myself that this was not Netflix, this was like regular.
This is regular TV, yeah.
The writing is phenomenal. So.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. My favorite thing having to do with sort of that suppressed Oswald is just like you could see it slowly building, and then when everything happened with his dad and he realized what the Vandals had done to his dad, it was just like, okay, so I was kind of violent before. Now I'm going to be psychotic and just have this, decapitated head on the table. and everything. It's so beautiful.
It's a gorgeous
He
little
hasn't had a sandwich in a while, though. I miss when he used to have sandwiches
Kill
after
for a
killing
tuna
somebody.
sandwich?
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about this show is that it allows you to actually like feel for the criminals.
Yeah.
Like when everything happened between Enigma and Kringle, I mean, you were,
You still
were
felt bad
almost
for
on
him.
Enigma's side
Yeah.
a little bit. Like, what are you doing? You knew he was going to do it, but
Yeah.
I mean, and then with Penguin, him killing the Vandals, you almost were rooting him on. It's like, yeah, take that.
Gotta have that roast.
Hey, Bobby, could you go fix our camera there?
Our camera.
Our camera fell. There we go. I have a Lego tripod. It's not working very well. But okay, so let's go ahead here. And so how about favorite storyline / arc? And we'll start with you, Anne Marie, because we started with Bobby.
So I guess still Enigma.
Enigma?
He was my favorite character. He would be my favorite.
Enigma.
I love Enigma. No, I just loved watching that internal struggle because he wanted to be bad, but he didn't want to be bad, and he didn't know how to let it out and when to let it out and when not to.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just sort of all crud. So I think that was neat. And then I just
I
wanted
love
to see
his
where it
wimpy
goes.
little run away when they finally caught him. He just like tripped and fell.
Can't do
It's
it.
good.
Yeah, it's just going to be neat to see since, like you said in the trivia, he's the only one left in Arkham that we know is there. And how is anyone still there with everything that just happened?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious to see where that all goes.
Definitely. Okay, Bobby, you, favorite storyline?
Can I just cheat and say Jerome again?
You can say Jerome,
You
sure.
could, but you'd have to give 3 different reasons.
No, I like Bullock, his arc and how, he's now the acting captain.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that Barnes is, obviously living because he's been in all the promos and
Yeah.
everything. So I would expect that he would take back over as captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that Michael Chiklis in an interview recently said that he took the Barnes role for something that's going to happen in season 3.
I know, and
So there's something big coming up for
Exactly.
his character, and we just don't know what it is yet. I have a theory, which we'll get to later.
Lots of theories.
Teasing. But okay, so as for, Bullock, yes, yes, and yes. And as for me, my favorite storyline overall was the 2-part Mr. Freeze episode. I absolutely loved it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Batman the Animated Series episode Heart of Ice, which was like the first time Mr. Freeze had a decent origin. But they kind of did this sort of like jazz improv version of the Heart of Ice storyline where, yes, his wife was sick and dying. He was figuring out a way to freeze her so, he could fix her and everything. But in Batman the Animated Series, he succeeded. He froze her, and she was just sort of this prop in the background in his lair anytime he showed up on the show. But in this one, she kind of takes it away from him. She sees the dark path he's going down, and she's like, we can't do that. I don't want this person I love to become this criminal because of me. So she offs herself. And it's just like this insane thing.
I wonder, okay, she offed herself, but she didn't crumble. She started to crack, but she didn't crumble. I wonder.
Yeah, but her whole face cracked.
No, but it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like there was a reason she didn't disintegrate like the rest of them did.
So is this like a crazy theory? You think maybe Nora's still kicking around in Indian Hill or
although
something?
it's not my crazy theory on the list or nothing, but it's something I've mentioned on the podcast before as well. But I definitely think it wouldn't surprise me, let's put it that way, if Strange was keeping her to keep Freeze on his side.
To have some leverage over emo Freeze, listening to all his hard rock music in the freezer.
I don't think anything would surprise me. Dead is not dead on Gotham.
Yeah.
Dead used to be dead, and then Azrael happened. So dead is no longer dead.
They fixed dead.
They fixed
on
dead.
Gotham.
So don't worry about dying. You're good. You might just have a little wrong with you. Okay.
Okay.
I did love the actress, I'm sorry. I forget her name, but she was great on Being Human.
Oh, was she?
Being Human.
Yeah.
Definitely. I haven't seen it, but I'll take your word for it. It's fine. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a little recess. I'm going to go watch Being Human so I can weigh on
Okay,
knowledge
bye. So,
Okay, how about there any favorite Gotham storylines from season 2?
silence.
Nobody liked any of the storylines? Why are you guys here? Okay, back there.
I like Jerome. Because
Yep.
they don't outright state it, but the way they like him, the way he acts, it's
Mhm.
like, dude, this is finally we're getting an origin story Joker.
The Joker, yes. I mean, there's been some speculation and everything. Is he the Joker? Isn't he the Joker? I think they're going to make him the Joker, probably.
Did anyone else hear the laugh at the end of that final episode?
Yeah, the season
That was
finale.
so the Jerome Joker laugh.
And they've already talked about in the interviews for the coming season about how there's still those haha things, the graffiti
All over.
on the walls and everything.
Right, I love how they were able to still pull that storyline throughout the whole season, even though he was killed in the third season, or third episode, because we had the ha-has, we had the smiles, we had all of that, and then we had Jerry.
Yeah.
Love Jerry.
Oh,
her
Jerry,
club,
the
her
punk
club
rock
of
Joker
Jerome's club.
musician, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really good way to keep reminding you that this is still there, and I think that really emphasizes that it's coming back.
Yeah.
Don't forget this. Don't forget this.
And I know a lot of people have complained, that they ended it to where Jerome was not the Joker. He just inspired all these mad people in Gotham and everything. I think that's still a really cool interpretation, because if anything, this series is giving us concrete reasons why Gotham is the way it is when Batman rises. You have the Jerome situation, which, inspires a bit of madness. And then you have, Indian Hill and Doctor Strange, who is giving all these comic book villains a reason to be eccentric, to be the Mad Hatter, or to be this, or to have a story behind them. Because, in the original history of the creation of the comic books and everything, these guys, I mean, they did some really creative work, but in a lot of ways, they were pumping out books and pumping out books. They needed quick story ideas, so they would take inspiration from things like Alice in Wonderland to make, Mad Hatter, or the Tweedle Brothers, or whatever. And so it's really cool that they're giving all these things that happen by happenstance a concrete in-story reason to happen, including the madness that Jerome presented. Good.
Yes.
Good.
Moving right along.
Okay, anybody else with a favorite storyline before we move on? Let's
Sarah in the Black.
I love when they kind of tied Thomas Wayne into the original Indian Hills. Almost like
Yes.
some responsibility.
Yes, pulling Thomas Wayne into the whole Indian Hill establishment and showing his origin with, or not origin, but his story with Strange, and all of that it wasn't expected maybe. It wasn't expected.
And it's also really cool, going back to, this character for 75 years, things have been happening by happenstance. It was really cool that they found a way to tie the origins of a lot of Batman's biggest villains to Batman himself. And they kind of both spring from the same well, so to speak.
Exactly.
So I definitely love that. And I love the Pinewood episode, too. I was watching that as I was falling asleep last night. I fell asleep like 10 minutes in, but I loved the 10 minutes I saw.
It was a great 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's see here. So most shocking moment of season 2, and we're going to start with Bobby.
Probably the rocket launcher.
The rocket launcher?
Yes, I love the rocket launcher.
Yeah. Rip Galavan.
Yeah, I would say killing off Jerome as well, but I just keep going back to that. So
You can go back to that because that was pretty shocking, because it seemed like, to tie them both together, Galavan was building Jerome up as this, made man. He was going to be
I was just
the
so
Joker.
surprised that it happened so quick.
Yeah.
I could beat a dead horse for this whole hour if we had, but I'll just leave it at that.
You could stab a magician in the neck for a whole hour, We could.
Good call.
Okay, Anne-Marie. What
The
about
Death
you?
of Essen.
The Death of Essen.
I didn't see, and at this point, it's been so long ago, you almost forget that it happened.
Yeah, because she died in what, episode 2?
She died in episode 2 at the hands of Mr. Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
So I really liked her. They were starting to give her that power and energy to take on everybody who's taking over Gotham, and she can't fight against it. And as soon as she gains that power, it takes her out on live TV, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was really surprising, because I had started to really like her character throughout the end of the first season.
Yeah, and it was so weird too, because you brought this up to me when we were getting ready to start the show and everything, and I'd almost forgotten that happened this season, because it happened so early on and so much has happened.
That's what I was saying. That the way they've broken up the seasons and the whole A and B, it's like you don't even you almost think that a lot of the things that happened in the first part of the season happened in some other season.
Right.
You're almost thinking we're on our third or fourth season or something.
It feels like, because it's almost like we've had 4 half seasons, so it's like 4 different seasons, but I think they're doing it a little different this coming year, right?
They are. They're going to do the first half of the season before Christmas is going to be all just one, storyline arc. And then they're going to do like a little 4-episode arc, and then they're going to come back for the last 8 episodes or so with another arc. But yeah, that whole, even just like the first 3 or 4 episodes, the whole #Maniacs section of the season almost feels like its own separate entity. Like you forget about things like the bus full of cheerleaders and the throwing the bodies off the building and everything.
Off they go.
Yeah. But,
I just love that they spelled me. So with the bodies, I'm like, I got some good
Aim, yeah.
Some good
And
aim.
physics, I mean, not just aim, you gotta know they're gonna land in that exact position.
they had some drones helping or something.
All right, and drop.
Okay, as for me, my most shocking moment, and this is because we were expecting them to go one way with this storyline, and they went a completely different way, was the death of Kristen Kringle. Because just her name, it's a novelty name. Like, we were expecting a special Christmas episode of Gotham where
I'm like, it was
Ed and
perfect. It
Kringle
was written there.
going, I don't know, rob from the kids or something.
I thought we were taking her from the side of the good to the side of the bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, and obviously that's where he thought it was going to when he revealed his awfulness.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I can open up about this now. No.
Bad choice.
Yeah, and it was just so shocking that happened because you were like, oh, Ed's finally kind of finding his balance and everything, and he's going to bring her on, and then they're going to become supervillains together. And no. It was really interesting because I watched a Facebook Live chat with Corey Michael Smith where he was talking about kind of his motivation in that scene, and he was just like, Ed just wanted her to understand that he did it all for her, and it was all coming from, it was a bad thing, but it was all coming for a good place, and because Ed's a psycho, it came out in a really bad way.
This is not how you show someone you love them. Just so everyone knows. Don't do this if you love them.
Security? No.
Unless they ask politely.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Politely, yes.
There's a time and a place, for sure. Okay, but let's see here. Most shocking moment of season 2. Anybody in the audience?
Well, just watching Ed transition into the Riddler, but
Yes.
kind of like the whole double personality thing.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Finally getting the question marks.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I thought Corey did an excellent job of portraying the different sides of Edward Nygma.
Oh,
Yeah, because it's
definitely.
that's a hard switch to have to make, and he did a really good job.
Yeah, he was also saying in that Facebook Live chat that originally they were just having him stand there solo and record each side of the conversation, like when he was arguing with Mirror Ed, and it just wasn't working, so they had to bring in an actor to kind of stand there and be the Mirror
The other
Ed for
person?
him, because he just wasn't finding his rhythm with it or whatever.
Nice.
Let's see, any other shocking moments of season 2? Over there, Blue.
I think like the revival of like Fish Mooney and her discovering she has her powers. Like,
Yes.
Oh yeah, the revival of Fish Mooney. Hey, how many people were anticipating Fish Mooney coming back? We got about 50%.
So you follow the fact that she was in a tube the whole season. Some people
Okay,
didn't.
not to garner any ill will, but is there anyone who doesn't like Fish Mooney? Thank you.
Yeah, we have some hands. A very
No,
Cover your
like I
eyes,
said,
Fish, cover your eyes.
you're beautiful. I think you look great, but I
the
just
audience. You might want to chill.
She's scary.
Get him, girl.
We have
Yeah,
the
they're
backs.
bad for sure. I didn't know you. I like that Fish Mooney's back, and we were. I saw yesterday that they put out the Gotham season 3 cast photos, and there's a Fish Mooney photo. So I'm assuming that she's not just going to be like a 1 or 2 or something like that. She's going to be in as
At
a
least a
series
good-
regular, which means if you take Montoya and Allen and
And
Dent
Harvey
into
Dent.
account, she'll be in at least 3 episodes. So.
I would think she's going to at least play a major part in this first arc.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think, yeah. I'm curious to see how that all plays out after, Oswald just sort of going, just passing out. So.
Okay, well, I think this is a great transition to move into, as you saw in your programs, the season 3 speculation section of the
Good call,
afternoon,
yes.
early afternoon. Yeah, season 3 is going to be interesting. Like, I'm excited about it.
Well, they just keep amping up. Like, season 1, it was a good, established the show, poor them who had 16 episodes and then had to tack on an extra 5, and we're like, what do we do with it? And then season 2, they knew what they wanted, and they hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And I think now that they have that established, season 3 is just going to be like, explosion. Like, it's just going to be crazy from the beginning.
Definitely.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just
You're
going
good.
to kind of tag on what she was saying. I definitely feel, in my opinion, they almost had no idea what they were doing in season 1. Because I kind of stuck around because I listened to you guys' podcast for the most part. But I definitely feel like towards the end of season 1 and then into season 2, they, like you said, they definitely found their footing. They had a feeling of where they wanted to go. To me, it almost feels like a gothic a gothic Batman 66.
Yeah.
You've got your villain of the week and different things like that. But I mean, it's still serialized to a certain point and
Enough.
everything. Exactly. Enough to keep people interested in what's going to happen the next week.
Right.
Yeah, I think a big part of what happened with season 1 is that they were expecting 16 episodes, and then when they were about to shoot like episode 15 and 16, like I think the Jerome one they were about to go in production on, they found out that they got the full episode order. So they had to, kind of send the fish out to Schumacher's Island and kind of find something to do with everybody while they got to the end they were trying to get to originally.
But on to season 3.
On to season 3. Okay, so I'll just start very generally here with the panel. Amory, what are your hopes for season 3?
More crazy.
More crazy?
I like the crazy. It's like a perfect balance, and I like that it's a little dark. Like, I think everything's like fluffified a little too much anymore,
Yeah.
and once in a while you just need something to go that route. Even with like some younger actors and stuff, because you don't get that a lot when you have younger actors. Poor Ivy.
Well, yeah, I think the show's greatest strength is its dark sense of humor.
Yes.
Just like you just have these horrific scenes, but the way they present them, you can't help but laugh at them a little bit. Like even the creators have this. Like when I interviewed John Stevens on the podcast, he was talking about if you remember in season 1 where they cut off the guitar player's fingers, he was talking about like they were arguing with the ratings board and Fox and everyone about how many fingers was too violent or how few were too funny. So it was how many fingers can we cut off and still be okay?
How many can we show we're cutting off? Like.
Okay, so Bobby, what are your hopes for season 3?
I don't know if I really have too much speculation. I'm really curious about what that whole Poison Ivy thing is going on, and it sucks for Claire Foley, I believe the actress was saying was, because...
Yeah, I will say, we will be doing spoilers as far as, nothing big, but anything that's come out in a press release we consider fair game, so just be aware.
But what I'm really anxious to see is Bruce and Alfred and even Lucius, as far as the exploration of the Batcave and what was Thomas Wayne doing.
What was he actually doing?
Yeah, exactly.
See if they can finally fix that Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Why did he feel he needed a cave?
It was a tandy?
Why did he need a cave? Like, why did he feel he had to
there
put
was
it behind
obviously
something? Like, obviously he
going
was
on.
up to something too.
Right.
So.
And so I'm hoping for like a proto-Batman type thing or something along those lines. Obviously, with the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's what my hopes or speculation are, is that Thomas Wayne
was being kind of a vigilante on his own.
Exactly.
I can see that.
In the Silver Age comics, actually, the Thomas Wayne originated the Batman persona. There's a storyline from back in the 50s or 60s where I don't know, Batman has like a past looker machine, like he can see into the past or whatever, and he watches Thomas Wayne go to this Halloween party dressed as Batman and kind of break up a fight and stuff. So that's their very solid in the origins of the character. So the stoicism and all that stuff that they're putting on him now, and his fight against the Wayne Enterprises board, that's completely legit from the comics.
Or against the Court of Owls. I mean, I would suspect.
Yeah, that's more recent, the Court of Owls stuff for sure. So anyone out there in the audience, what's your speculation for season 3?
A little bit of Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn?
They have actually said that they can't use anybody from Suicide Squad. They've said, like, I think unless they've already established them, there's the rules, unfortunately. Maybe in a few years they can.
So if you
but I think right now they just want focus there. Yes. They could do something similar, like an origin of her, but not being her exactly. That would be cool.
Well, I definitely think, they might not be able to have Harley Quinn proper on there, but I think Savvy Babs is about as close as you're going to get. She's definitely a character in the spirit of Harley Quinn, for sure. Okay, anybody else? Speculation for season 3? Way back in the back.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to the updated Poison Ivy. Like, something happens to little 14-year-old Claire where she turns into like 21-year-old Poison Ivy.
Yeah,
so that's going to be quite, because they said they had storylines they wanted to explore, but a little difficult to do with a 14-year-old actress, so they wanted to give her a little bump.
Yeah, because I think there was that season 1 moment where she picked up the phone, where little Ivy picked up the phone and did like the sexy voice, and people were not happy about that.
So, not happy. Yeah.
So I can imagine why they had to recast an artifact. We have a Spider-Man looking in on, so he's peeking in.
Spider?
He's Marvel,
Get him.
No, I'm kidding. Don't get him. But maybe get him. No, it's fine. Okay, so let's see. Any other speculation for season 3? Right there, right there.
It's not that I necessarily want it to happen, but it's probably going to happen, is that we're going to get more of a Bat-Cat romance thing going on.
Oh yeah, the Bat-Cat romance.
Team Bat-Cat.
Definitely.
I am Team Bat-Cat.
They're cute. I love them as platonic friends, though. I really do. So.
Yeah.
But they are getting older.
I can see that, but they're little teenagers. They each need a little love in their life. They've all had way too much dark. They need a little happy.
Yeah, but that section of season 2 where they were like
living together.
Yeah, living together. That was some of my favorite stuff that Bruce had the entire season. Just him out there on the streets, learning the rough and tumble.
I saved enough for burgers.
Nice. Okay, so we have a couple focus questions about season 3 we want to talk about. Because there's a lot of stuff that's come out in press releases and some stuff in the season finale that needs addressing. And you know what? I'll turn this to you, Bobby, first.
Okay.
Because we'd like to do that.
Who do you think long-haired Bruce is? Yanni Bruce.
Who do I think?
Who do you think
Yanni?
he is?
Did you say Yanni?
I said Yanni. That might be a dated reference.
No, I know. It might be dated.
Spider-Man's back.
I mean, I don't know.
He's Peter Parker. No.
Is he just a clone of Bruce that the court has produced to try to do? I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of blood ritual or prophecy. I don't know.
I could see them having blood rituals.
Yeah, I could definitely, just because of Thomas Wayne's involvement with Indian Hill, which was obviously run by the Court of Owls, and Wayne Enterprises is all in the mix and everything. Yeah, I think clone is a pretty likely answer. Anne-Marie, do you have any other thoughts on this matter? Long-haired Bruce, Yanni Bruce.
My note is, I have no clue. Yes, Fish.
I actually saw online where that is actually Bruce Wayne's evil twin, and they had him, kept away because, he was doing bad things. So maybe.
Oh yeah. Bruce
So like
is the
Thomas
evil
and Martha
twin.
knew about him and sent him away?
Yeah, well, there is a couple different characters from the comics which kind of fit into that mold, which was Bruce Wayne had this brother, and depending on the version of it, either, Bruce was the one that died and this brother lived, or, the Waynes, as rich people often do, they send the defective children away and comes back or whatever.
As rich people often do.
They do. They do.
Do you have experience with this?
I do. My family was rich. I was the one that was sent away.
Gotta send the oddball.
But so I could definitely see something like that happening. That being the case, it's like Bruce's long lost brother, who just happens to look quite a lot like Bruce.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
And then it is, therefore by the grace of God go I. He's evil, but is it because of the way he was raised, or was it because there was something wrong with him to begin with?
Yeah, nature versus nurture sort of thing. Do you think it's going to keep his hair down, or do you think he'll have a ponytail? Man bun.
God.
Oh, no man bun.
One for the man bun. Okay,
Yes.
back here.
Well, I just had a thought. It reminded me a little bit, as soon as I saw him, it reminded me of what they did with Caprica, where the little boy who you think is William Adama, and you watched him grow up and everything, and he dies, and William Adama's another guy. What if the Bruce Wayne we're watching now dies, and the twin takes over, and becomes Batman?
That would be
That would be
interesting.
fun.
Yeah,
That would be
what you
fun.
said, if people didn't hear it, was that long-haired Yanni Bruce is the real Bruce that becomes Batman, and the Bruce Wayne we've been following the past couple seasons dies.
That could be interesting.
That would be fantastic.
What if they just sort of
Be a
work
weird
together?
one.
You know, one's working in the Batcave sending out the signals, and the other one's out so they can recover.
So long-haired Bruce is sort of
The backup Bruce.
like Oracle for regular.
Little Bruce
Yes.
would be Oracle.
Yeah.
Still learning that stuff.
Or I like that. I like that.
I like that.
Or maybe it's because Alfred's kind of transitioned into more of a crime-fighting partner. Maybe long-haired Bruce can become the new butler.
That's because Alfred's hardcore.
Alfred is hardcore.
Yes.
I was thinking that they're gonna push him into the role of talent.
Into a talent.
Oh, into a Talon, like the Court of Owls.
Yeah, because I mean, that's kind of what they did with like the brother of Bruce in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Since he looks so much like Bruce.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Another thing, though, is it feels like almost like there's a Talon in the season 3 trailer they showed at Comicon. Like there's a guy that looks kind of like the Green Hornet or something with the mask, the domino mask and stuff. So, which I was thinking he could have been a Talon too. But I mean, it's been a while since I've read the comic series. Yeah, there's multiple Talons. So.
That would make sense.
Talon is like a moniker, not a person.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're going to make Gordon a Talon.
You think so?
Like maybe the court will brainwash him, and that's in that one interview he did where he was like he dropped that hint like, oh, I'm going to
He dropped the hint he wasn't supposed to
iconic
drop.
DC character you're not supposed to know about. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I don't know. With as dark as Jim Gordon's been getting, maybe he'll just go voluntarily and become a Talon.
I think I got this.
But actually, you know what? It's interesting you bring that up, Bob, because that's on the doc we have here. So why don't we go ahead and talk about that? Ben McKenzie, they were doing a bunch of interviews for Comic-Con, and he sort of teased, and I think shocked his castmates, that Jim Gordon at some point this season, probably later in the season, is going to be adopting the persona of an iconic DC character. Do you guys have any? Well, I mean, obviously you have the talent. Speculation. Anne-Marie, do you have any speculation on who this character might be?
Okay, so I didn't until just now, and it came to me. Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, like he finally grows the mustache.
He grows the mustache, and they bump him on up.
Yeah. Well,
Even though he's run away to Florida, I think,
he
actually.
did say back in season 1 that he would have to grow into the character. So he's grown enough. Season 3, mustache happens. I like it.
It could happen.
I like it.
Because it is an iconic character.
Mhm.
And he never said it was an iconic bad character.
Very true.
An iconic good character.
Very true. And I've been thinking like vigilantes that could be based out of Gotham or like be related to Batman in some way. One that came to mind, and a lot of people were talking about when this news came out, was maybe if you guys have ever seen the Batman, the animated series episode, The Grey Ghost, where Adam West plays or voices like a Batman-like character on TV that Bruce watched and kind of got the idea from Batman from. I think it would be cool to have Jim Gordon sort of dress up as the Grey Ghost, be this proto-vigilante in Gotham that kind of helps inspire Bruce into the role. One other I thought about, and I know they've already had Montoya on the show and everything, but I thought The Question would be really cool too for Jim Gordon, where he puts on like the faceless mask and is, man of mystery, and then maybe Montoya comes back in a later season or something, and they kind of pass the mantle over to her. So those were a couple thoughts I had. Do you guys have any speculation on the iconic character that Jim Gordon will become? Killer Moth? I like that.
The Red Hood's still getting passed around.
The Red Hood is still getting passed around.
So he could become part of the Red Hood
He could
gang.
become a part of the Red Hood gang.
Or just like start it back up and try to like take everything down from the inside.
Ooh.
I like that, like a
Hood always
3-part
died.
undercover mission. What was that?
But the Red Hood always died.
Very true.
We
Very
kind of
true.
have to keep Jim around a little bit.
I guess. No, this is Earth G. This is an alternate Gotham. You can
This
do
is alternate Gotham.
I want them to kill Bruce, Jim Gordon, and Alfred.
You have
this
another
season.
one. Not Alfred, anything but Alfred.
Okay, any other speculation over here?
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul? Like Jim Gordon could be Ra's al Ghul?
Why not?
I guess so. You
On
know,
this show, why not?
would he make a good leader of the League of Assassins?
Look that way if you're asking that question.
Would he make a good leader of the League of Assassins?
I don't think so. I don't think he's quite hard enough.
Well, I think considering how he did with the Strike Force this season, I think he would make a good leader of the League of the Assassinated, for sure. so it could happen. It can happen. Okay, so let's see here. More season 3 speculation. Okay, so I have a list of new characters here, and I want to know which character each of you are most excited for and why. So we have the new Poison Ivy, Mad Hatter, the Tweedle Brothers, Valerie Vale, Vicky's aunt, and Solomon Grundy. Anne-Marie, we'll start with you.
I have like a whole list. I'm kind of curious where they're going with the new Poison Ivy. I'm kind of curious about this whole Mad Hatter situation, and I really like the actress who's playing Valerie Vale, so I'm excited for that.
Because we started our fan casting days doing a podcast about Once Upon a Time, and Mulan from Once Upon a Time is playing Valerie Vale. So.
And she used to be on The Real World, so that's
she also that, which I don't care about. Okay, Bobby, you.
I share her questions about Poison Ivy. I'm really curious as to where that's all going. Mm-hmm. And I want to see how they're going to handle Solomon Grundy.
Yes.
And the Mad Hatter, I really like the description they've given to him, mm-hmm. where he's going to have a thing for, or may or may not have a thing for his sister Alice.
Yeah, which would be a very Gotham thing to do.
I was just going to say, they seem to have a thing for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Galavan.
Yeah, with Galavan and Tabitha.
Or even Penguin and his mom.
Yeah.
That time was a little frightening.
And then Penguin and his stepsister. It's all centered around Penguin. But it's funny you bring up Solomon Grundy, because remember when I had said I had something I was going to come back to later?
There it is.
Okay, this Chickless thing, the fact that he took the role of Barnes because something important was going to happen in season 3 for Barnes. Isn't he built like Solomon Grundy? Wouldn't he make he's already played the Thing in the Fantastic Four movie. I think Michael Chiklis would make a fantastic Solomon Grundy.
I enjoy that fantastic.
Born on a Monday.
Not a horrible theory.
Yeah, it definitely feels like something they would tell you that would get you to take the part, even though you knew your character wouldn't be important for an entire season.
Right.
Or not as important. So let's see. Everyone else out in the audience. So, new characters? What are you excited about? Firefly.
Getting a little more of Firefly.
That'll be good. The evolution of.
Yeah. I would definitely hope she comes back around too.
I think Kat will be able to bring her back to the.
Yeah, if nothing else, just that relationship we have with Kat. But we thought that Montoya and Alan would be back too.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Way back. To Bane?
And we did have, they didn't call it Venom, Viper, thank you.
Yeah, the prototypical Venom in season 1, which was all connected to Indian Hill. So I could definitely see them bringing Bane into the mix, especially if, like you said, they're not going to be able to use Killer Croc.
Right, because we already had that sort of...
Yeah, we had a guy that looked kind of Killer Croc.
But maybe that's all the more they can go with that.
True that.
Before they got that, no, you can't use that. So.
Yeah, but they do have the Viper that turns you into a big pile of jelly eventually.
Rather quickly.
But they'll iterate. They'll make it better.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you think better?
I just thought, you mentioned Bane right now. Which Bane? Because Bane in the Nolan film was kind of awesome, and Bane in Batman Forever was kind of weird, but he was serum. So what if Jim Gordon gets a serum and becomes Bane?
Oh, what if Jim Gordon becomes Bane?
Well, there you go.
I would like that. And I take offense to your criticism of the Bane from Batman and Robin. Probably the best comic book character. No, I'm kidding. It's awful. I don't know. It would be cool if he became Bane and then he teamed up with the new Poison Ivy. That would be a callback to Batman and Robin. So that would be great. No, but I could definitely see him having like an arc.
Oh yeah.
Where he becomes more of a super villain or something.
I want to see them bring in like more weird ones like Egghead or King Tut. Mm-hmm. And like make them dark. Yeah. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, like take some of those original for Batman 66 villains.
Exactly. Maybe Mob Barker.
Mm-hmm. Which I believe part of the reason that Fox got the Gotham show is because they made a deal with Warner Brothers to release Batman 66 on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
And so
speculation.
So all those rights are kind of intermingled. So that would be kind of cool to see, for sure. Hey, Emery, how are we doing on time?
Oh, I gave you a call. We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so let's move on to returning characters. Emery, what returning character are you most excited for and why?
Strange. I want to see what the heck is going to happen with him now that his entire thing has basically exploded, and if I recall, he was sitting there like crying, like, they're gonna take over, like all of his monsters are all over town. Everything is like dissolved in front of him. I want to see where he goes next, because we know he's coming back. What's gonna happen to him? Or, I mean, you can't really put him in Arkham. He knows how to get out.
Yeah.
He's been running it for X amount of years, so I think that'll be really interesting to see. And even, I mean, is he going to get to work with Miss Peabody? What's going to happen with her? Because I love Miss Peabody. Water! So I think Strange and that whole situation is going to be really cool to see.
Yeah, he was a fun ride in season 2 to I Am God. Does anyone else in here watch Mr. Robot on USA? B.D. Mullen has a character that is very much like his portrayal of Hugo Strange, except he also cross-dresses. Going back and watching the new episodes of Mr. Robot after seeing him on Gotham, it's crazy how similar the characters are and how good both of them are.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, because he has kind of like that deep thing where he does this.
Almost like George Takei or something.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, Bobby, returning characters. What are you excited for?
I'm anxious to see what's going on with Barbara and Tabitha.
Tabby?
Yeah.
Tabby.
Yeah.
Tabby didn't get to do too much in that whole second half, and that kind of made me sad.
Yeah, because
she didn't get nearly as much when she teamed up with Butch.
Well, apparently now they own a nightclub.
Oh, hey.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they were saying at Comicon and stuff.
And so,
which is cool, Gotham City Sirens.
It's just curious. I'm curious to see what kind of role she's going to fill now.
Yeah.
That she's not with her brother.
Yeah.
She's her own woman now.
She changes Butch's attachments to his little stone.
Let's see, out here in the audience, returning characters. Anyone you're excited for? Let's see.
Yes.
Oh.
Enigma.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Especially because we left him in Arkham. So to the best of our knowledge, homie's still locked up.
Yeah, I think
what are we going to do there?
They've actually said, I believe, that they're going to pick up with him in Arkham. So.
That's fantastic. Because it's 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
Who has been keeping that man in? He can get out of anything.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
I'm also interested to see how they may expand his dual personality
Mm-hmm.
in season 3.
For him to be able to channel them at specific times and develop.
Or maybe the fact that he's been sitting in a cell in Arkham by himself for 6 months has kind of brought back multiple personalities.
Enhance the dual personality perspective.
Exactly.
Maybe he's got a third personality now. Maybe Lucy. Maybe he's a.
Maybe he adopted Lucy. Yes.
I like it. I hope he gets a green suit this season. That would be
Well, he started to in.
Yeah, slowly kind of.
It slowly, definitely had the fashion in that one episode where he went, full Riddler, pretty much. So.
Okay, so we're gonna end up with theory time. So, you have any big crazy theories for season 3, Anne-Marie?
Fish is going to stay underground for a while so that she can build up her strength, learn to control her powers.
Underwater, sorry.
Yes, underwater, the gills. And figure out what happened while she was dead, because she's missed out on the better part of a year, probably longer, because of the whole Gordon montage in jail. And then I think she's going to strike really, really hard around the mid-season finale and just take over again.
Blow it up.
Yeah.
Okay, Bobby.
Because nobody's expecting it.
I already kind of said my theory. I think that Jim Gordon will become the Talon, whether it be because he was brainwashed or you kind of were saying maybe he looks for it, takes it on himself. That's my theory.
That's fair. My crazy theory is I think this is something they've been building to since episode 1 from the pilot. But I think this is the season they're going to have Enigma kill Harvey Bullock. I don't want Harvey to die. I love Harvey. We love the Bullockisms for sure. But I feel like they've been building this animosity between the two characters since season 1. And I feel like this is the season. It's going to be so far out there and Harvey's going to be so in a position to stop him that it's going to happen. So that's my crazy theory, and
I hate that crazy theory. I hate it.
Any crazy theories?
I want to stab it like Babs.
Crazy theory.
Crazy theory? Yeesh.
Lee's going to come back, and of course the baby's not actually dead, and so Jim Gordon has.
That's what
the
I've
child is
always
probably
been saying.
going to be. They're probably going to name it Barbara for whatever reason. And
Very nice.
That's going to be Batgirl.
You think
That's
she'd name
the
it
only
Barbara?
thing. Yeah, I don't see Lee naming the kid Barbara.
You wouldn't think.
Unless she has an aunt named Barbara. Maybe Lee has an aunt named Barbara. We just don't
Well, I
know.
mean, Lee and Barbara had a nice moment when Barbara was in the coma. So, I mean, you know, anything could happen.
Here's what could happen is Barbara could save Lee from dying in some horrible way because, you know, Barbara has this change of heart. And, oh, Jim loves you and I love Jim and therefore I'm going to save you and you guys be happy together. Then I think, although at that point the baby's already been born, so either they change the name or something. I don't know.
Right. It definitely goes under the crazy theory column.
There we go.
We like it.
Okay, and
Yes.
you right there.
Maybe he kills Lee by like
Who?
Jim Gordon.
Oh.
For any reason and keeps the baby.
Oh, Jim kills Lee and keeps the baby.
Interesting. Interesting.
You've gone dark and twisted on it. Congratulations.
Which is so Gotham.
This is so Gotham.
So yeah, I like that. I like
I
that.
like that.
Like
I do, but I don't.
I definitely see a future where Lee and Jim aren't together, but Jim still has the kid. Like I can see that happening if the kid's still alive.
They've said Lee will be with Falcone's kid. Is that right?
Oh, Falcone's
For
nephew?
season
No,
3. Is it nephew or son?
I think it's son.
I think it's son.
Son?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give that a new character in season.
So do you think that she'll stick with him? Do you think that Jim and Lee will get back together? I mean, what do you think? is gonna
No,
end
Jim
up
and Lee
there?
ain't getting back together.
Yeah,
That ship is.
I can't see, you know, with the nature of Batman and Lee Tompkins' relationship in the comics and stuff. I can't see her being with Jim because she knows all of Bruce's secrets.
Well, I also can't see her being with anyone with the last name Falcone, but it's happening.
But it's happening.
Gosh darn it, it's happening.
Okay, one last crazy theory. Anyone have a crazy theory? Crazy? How about a mildly crazy theory? Oh, over
Mildly
here.
crazy.
I was gonna say, the Court of Owls is gonna bring Jerome back.
Oh, the
You think
Court of
it'll be them who
Owls?
bring it back? You think they're gonna like pull him in?
They bring him back to life, so.
Well, I think he's already alive because I think we saw him like stumbling out of the.
Yeah, and we heard that. Yeah.
Off of the bus.
Well,
So do you
even-
think they're gonna
even
sort
if
of
that is-
take him under their wing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if
That's
that
what I'm
is
here
the
for.
case, that means
Yeah.
the Court of Owls was behind that all to begin with anyway.
That's true. So that technically,
The
yes,
Court of
they do.
Owls is behind everything. They're behind this panel. They were under the panel right now feeding us lines. Okay, well, I think that'll about do it, right?
That's about it, yep.
Yeah, that's about it. We want to thank all of you for coming. If
Thank
you want
you.
to listen to us talk about the season as it happens, legendsofgotham.com. We have a Facebook, Twitter, all under that same name. Emery, where can people find you online?
Well, my name's hard to spell. Just find me on Legends of Gotham. It's a lot easier.
That's right. Bobby, where can people find you online?
The Legends of Gotham group, podcast every week, and then my Twitter is Inevitable Hawk.
Inevitable Hawk.
Yeah, HAWK.
Spelled like Ethan Hawke, right?
Yeah, well,
Perfect.
it's my last name. It's spelled like Bobby Hawke. It just happens to be his name too.
Okay, and as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all of the podcasts we do at universebox.com, and you can catch us starting September 19th.
19th is the
19th,
episode, so starting September 20th, every
talking
Tuesday.
about Gotham at legendsofgotham.com. So join us next time, or in the fall, for more Legends of Gotham. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are great. Testing.
Yep, we're good.
We have microphones.
Exactly. Well, there's questions. I got some quizzes.